Hi guys, and welcome to That's Mental Home Edition. So the topic of today's video is mental health conversations. As you all know, unless you've been living under a rock or just don't care, we've all been affected by COVID19, the coronavirus crisis, and a lot of people around the world are living in lockdown. So today I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about why we need to have mental health conversations now more than ever. As you know, one of my main goals with That's Mental, with my blogging, with everything that I do, is to make sure that we break down the barriers, that we raise awareness, and basically encourage people to have more conversations about mental health. I've always wanted to make it easier because I know that there's a lot of stigma surrounding the topic, and I just want to open the conversation. A lot of people right now are going to be going through mental health issues, whether it's for the first time, whether it's mental health issues flaring up again, maybe you don't even really know what it is that you're going through, but you feel shit, something doesn't feel right, and that is completely normal because we are not in a normal situation. The problem is that for the longest time this has been a taboo topic, like I said in the beginning. Many people haven't wanted to talk about mental health, and so people are not prepared. They don't know how to have these conversations. It's not something that we do regularly in certain places or countries or cultures. You know, it's almost embarrassing to say that you're going for therapy or that you have a psychologist, so we're just not ready. But the reality is we have to start doing it because our lives have changed, things have been turned upside down, and we're going to have to help each other out and help each other get through this and have these difficult conversations. I've put together a few tips on what you can do, on how you can get through this and start having these mental health conversations. To start with, accept your feelings. Don't try to reject them, or you're just going to be fighting yourself. And you will make yourself feel worse. It'll be a struggle against yourself, and it'll just create a negative spiral of thoughts that you won't be able to get out of. So just embrace it. Embrace that you're feeling shit today, that you're feeling angry, that you know this news is bothering you. We're all going through it. I myself really struggled with the latest press conference from the Dutch government because I live in the Netherlands. And I just felt like shit, and I just wanted to feel like shit. Like, I didn't want to force myself to be positive about it. So embrace it. Try to forget the negative things that you might have heard about mental health or around mental health. Try to get rid of those that judgment that you might have been passed on to you, that might have come through the media, the stigma. Just try to put it all aside. For now. Now is really the time to be open-minded about it, to let go of what you already know and just open your mind and be really curious about it. Don't judge yourself, don't judge other people either. Just accept, you know, the situation is pretty strange, so everybody's going to be reacting and dealing with it in different ways. If you can and if you need to, make use of a helpline. So I know that quite a lot of companies, when they're able to, have been working to provide support to their employees, whether those people are people who are now working from home or people who have to keep going to work. I've read and seen a lot about the effort being made to set up support helplines, teach people how to deal with these situations that they're not used to. So if you have access to that, definitely make use of it. It will be a great anonymous resource as well, most likely, that you can leverage. So it's a great starting point. Just pick up the phone, talk to someone. Yeah. Ask for help. So if you don't have a hotline, if your company has not put anything together, or maybe you don't work anymore, or you're self-employed or whatever, just try asking a friend or someone in your network for help. It might be difficult, you might not know what to say, but just tell them, you know, you'd like to speak to someone. Maybe someone in your network knows someone. Maybe they know a coach, maybe they know a therapist, maybe they can recommend someone that you could talk to because they think they would be a good match for you. So just ask around and see what comes out of your network. But importantly, actually, of course, all these tips are good, but I imagine that some people, if not most people, are not used to sharing. So the first thing is just practice sharing, just practice telling people how you feel. Find someone that you trust to talk to and just start. So for example, it could be as simple as when someone asks you, how are you? Just saying, yeah, I'm not great, you know, things could be better. A lot of the time we're in the habit of saying, yeah, I'm fine, you know, like we just dismiss the question and we just pretend like everything's fine even though it's not. So one really good way to start practicing is to be honest when somebody asks you, how are you? And this can even be in a work conversation. Of course, it depends on your colleagues, the psychological safety in your organization, but also with friends or with family. You can also start with small things, like for example, just telling someone that you're disappointed with the news, like I was. You don't have to go so deep and start opening up, but I think just practicing being honest about how you're feeling about those things can be a great way to start. And just dare to be vulnerable. It is scary, it is really scary to admit that you're not strong, that you're struggling, that you're angry, sad, whatever. And if any of you are familiar with Brene Brown, she does a lot of work around vulnerability. But yeah, I think for having honest conversations around mental health and being able to support each other, we have to be able to tap into that vulnerability and practice opening up more. Look for resources if you need to. So as you might know, if you follow me in my mental health blogs, I'm a huge fan of just learning whatever I can about the situation, consuming knowledge. If this is helpful for you, then by all means go out there, find local resources, find books, self-help books, podcasts, whatever it may be that you can find, webinars, courses. I mean, now there is a ton of stuff online. There are a ton of people going live, so just look for those resources. If it can help you to understand what it is you're going through, if it can help you become more familiar with mental health, and if it can help you to feel more comfortable about these conversations that you need to have, by all means just go a little bit deeper into that learning so that perhaps it can help you feel more comfortable having mental health conversations and realizing that you're not alone, you're not crazy, yes, this is normal, and you're going to be okay. And also to realize that there are many people out there who have already gone through these types of feelings, and perhaps you can read their stories and get inspired. Which brings me on to my next point, which is listen to other people who have already shared their experience. Yes, it's really hard to talk about mental health. I don't find it easy. I still struggle now to share these stories, to be so open. Of course, I'm having different struggles than I used to have when I started, when I was terrified to post anything online. I have overcome that, but we're all finding it difficult. But you know, there are people, like I said, sharing their experiences, so look at what they're doing, read, watch, listen, and just tell yourself that, you know, if they can do it, then you can do it too. If they're able to share out in the open, then you can share with one person that's close to you. So use that as inspiration. And then last but not least, don't be afraid to advocate. Anyway, don't be afraid to look out for yourself and look after your mental health. So whether that's with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your roommates, wherever you might be, don't be afraid to ask for what you need, to set the limits that you need, to really put the conditions in place as much as you can. I mean, of course, I understand that, you know, circumstances are exceptional, but don't be afraid to do what you need to protect your mental health and to look after yourself, because that's super important. And that's it. Don't forget that on the blog I have a ton of resources, blog posts, etc. I talk about all sorts of different types of experiences, situations. I share resources, so don't forget to check it out. And good luck having your mental health conversations.